The Mon Calamari are an aquatic species known for their underwater infrastructure and orbital shipyards. Their homeworld, commonly called Mon Cala, but truly named Dock, is a vast oceanic planet consisting of immensely deep depths, massive underwater caverns, and expansive forest-like reefs. Mon Calamari ancestors actually began as a semi-terrestrial species, grooming the shorelines for food and only entering the water to tend their seaweed farms. It wasn't until they discovered the abundance of resources amidst the ocean deep that their race truly came to be. Through the process of natural selection, the Mon Calamari anatomy slowly began adapting to sea-dwelling behavior, but over thousands of generations, the Mon Calamari precursors evolved into the beings we know today. About 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Mon Calamari slowly lowered their infrastructure closer and closer to the ocean floors. It was at this point in history that the Mon Calamari learned that they weren't the only sentients inhabiting the planet of Dock. The Quarren, having evolved within the abysmal depths of Dock's ocean floor, soon came into contact with their Mon Calamari counterparts. Being a naturally suspicious race, the Quarren attacked, and as such began the Quarren-Mon Calamari War. Due to my belief that the war had a much larger impact on the Quarren rather than the Mon Calamari, I will be saving the details of this conflict for the Quarren's own story, as the ramifications of this event played a massive role in the shaping of their society. But to briefly summarize, the Mon Calamari ultimately won this war through their superior technology, and an extremely tense yet peaceful coexistence persisted between the two for several millennia. 2,000 years later, at about 2,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Mon Calamari finally made contact with the Galactic Republic, and soon many Mon Calamari could be found within the Republic forces, as well as the Jedi Order. During the sacking of Coruscant, a Mon Calamari even held the position of Supreme Chancellor. For several millennia, the native Mon Calamari would live a peaceful coexistence upon the world of Dock, until the time of the Clone Wars, where the separatist-aligned Quarren Isolation League finally made a move to take over the planet. Funded by Count Dooku and the Commerce Guild, they attacked the capital of Mon Calamari, and even attempted to eliminate their council government. Eventually repelled by the Republic forces spearheaded by Master Jedi Kit Fisto, the Isolation League was forced into a retreat, and the political climate upon Dock slowly reverted to its peaceful, yet extremely tense state. But unfortunately, the worst was far from over for the Mon Calamari race. Upon the dawn of Palpatine's Galactic Empire, the entire planet of Dock was quickly overtaken, and both Mon Calamari and Quarren were indiscriminately forced into slave labor. Now finally bound to fight a common cause, the Mon Calamari and the Quarren finally banded together to begin an uprising against their imperial overlords. Secretive militia training was developed, and many Mon Calamari were smuggled off-world to join the ranks of the Rebel Alliance. Many had even achieved prominent positions within their starfleets and ground battalions. When the Empire was finally crushed, the Mon Calamari were credited to being one of the most dedicated of races to the rebel cause, and were frequently cited as some of the most brave and self-sacrificing of soldiers. However, these accolades would cost both their race and their entire homeworld a very dire price. Hundreds of years later, the new Sith Empire would wreak havoc upon the galaxy, and living up to their title as faithful vanguards for the Alliance, the Mon Calamari played a pivotal role in assisting its war efforts. In retaliation, Darth Krayt sacked the planet of Dock, and captured Senator Gal Gahan. Although this senator claimed full responsibility, Darth Krayt punished his perceived treachery by exterminating the entire Mon Calamari Council in front of his very eyes. Even the Quarren Council members who attempted to reason with the Sith were mercilessly butchered for even pleading mercy for their counterparts. Mon Calamari again were forced to enter internment, but only after having 10% of their total population systematically killed, as punishment for their transgressions against the Sith. Using their famous shipyards as a staging ground, Krayt's empire turned the entire planet of Dock into a massive concentration camp. Later within the war, the Sith believed that the planet was demanding too much attention and resources. In a disturbing display of Sith pragmatics, Darth Warlock III ordered the commencement of the final protocol, the total decimation of the entire planet of Dock. The true mastermind of this atrocity was the Sith scientist Vol Eisen. Relishing the opportunity to release his experiments and having fantasized about the destruction it would herald, Vol Eisen ejected viral spores into Dock's ocean. Its tide spreading the virus with deadly efficiency, Dock was rendered completely inhabitable only a mere week later, and billions were killed. While the Alliance did help some of the Mon Calamari escape, only around 20% of their total population could be spared. In consequence, the Mon Calamari became a rare sight to behold, and much of their culture was lost forever. However, with the help of their survivors, the One Sith Order was finally crushed, and the Mon Calamari would be remembered and revered forever as one of the galaxy's most staunch protectors. If it weren't already obvious from their appearance, Mon Calamari are gifted with the ability to breathe underwater, allowing them to stay submerged indefinitely and reach incredibly deep depths. While some sources claim that they can only submerge themselves at a distance of 90 meters, I have found this to be untrue on many accounts. However, while they are capable of breathing underwater, Mon Calamari can find it extremely uncomfortable. It will sometimes resort to using what is called an organic gill to alleviate this annoyance, an invention they themselves created. They average at about 1.5 meters tall and feature large wide-set eyes above a fish-like head, which are capable of omnidirectional movement. Their skin comes in various forms of tans, reds, earthy browns, and soft blues and greens. Some display stripes and other mottled spots. True to their aquatic nature, they possess webbed hands and feet, and are extremely quick while underwater, only being rivaled by their Quarren counterparts, as well as the Nautilans. Mon Calamari speak Mon Calamarian, the Quarren language Quarrenese, as well as Galactic Basic, albeit with a bit of a guttural accent. As briefly mentioned previously, the government of Dock is formed by a large council, in which the Quarren also hold office. The Mon Calamari race is also a royal family, but whether it serves an executive purpose or simply a ceremonial one is largely unclear. Although the two races definitely share a rocky relationship, Dock's infrastructure is famed for its expert design, and the orbital shipyards of the planet are famed across the galaxy. Mon Calamari have a natural predisposition for high appreciation of art and culture, a fact that is made very evident when one examines their starship's intricate designs. Conversely, they are also incredibly analytical and strategic in their tactics, often coming to form battle plans that are totally unexpected by their enemies, as well as extremely effective. Something within their society promotes them to take the side of the perceived underdogs, and most Mon Calamari have a tendency to defend their allies with extreme rigor. As such, they often make for some of the most loyal of companions, and are usually very open and hospitable to strangers. They are a peaceful race, but do not hesitate to fight alongside any of those they believe to be righteous in cause. Due to this, Mon Calamari are often the very first to step in to help others on a galaxy-wide level, and it is for their many valiant achievements throughout the course of time that their race is most known for. Some notable Mon Calamari include the Jedi healer Nadar Veb, the selfless rogue squadron pilot Ibtissim, and the grand strategist Admiral Gal Akbar.